Have you ever noticed how every beginner carnivore video kind of sounds like a crash course in rocket science? Macros, ratios, dairy or no dairy, supplements, electrolytes. Like you need a whole checklist just to cook up some ground beef. And don't get me wrong, that information is good. It really is. It's just not where you start. When I first looked into this diet, I did the exact same thing. The truth is, most people do not fail because the information is wrong. They fail because they never get past all the planning. The details, the fat ratios, the debates, the fine-tuning, they will all matter later. But if you are new to the carnivore diet, there's only one thing that matters right now: starting. That's what this video is about. How to start the carnivore diet in the simplest way possible, without turning it into another thing to overthink about. When I finally stopped researching and just started eating, it was almost disappointing how simple it was. You don't need a shopping list that looks like a survival kit. You don't need macros, ratios, or color-coded meal plans. All you need are a few foods that came from an animal. Beef, eggs, maybe bacon, butter if you want it. That's it. Eat until you're full. Do not count anything, do not measure anything, and then move on with your day. The goal here isn't perfection, but it's consistency. Just get your body used to eating real food again. And yeah, at some point you will adjust things. Maybe you will test your fat to protein ratio. Maybe you will see how you handle dairy. Maybe you will start tracking how you feel after certain meals. That's all useful. Just not yet, not today. When you are starting, the best thing you can do is to stop trying to make it harder than it needs to be. Because the more rules you pile on, the less likely you are to stick with it. So start small, keep it boring, and let your body do the learning for you. Once you start, you will notice how loud this space really is. Everyone has rules. No dairy, no eggs, high fat, low fat, organs every day, or organs never. And I mean, we are all trying to help. But for someone just starting out, it's like being dropped into a conversation that's been going on for years. And as I said, all of those things, the dairy, ratios, supplements, they do matter, but only once you are consistent enough for the details to make sense. It is kind of like learning how to drive. When you are first getting behind the wheel, you are just trying not to hit the curb. You are not thinking about your tire pressure or how efficiently you're cornering. That stuff matters later, but it is useless if you never leave the driveway. So when you see people debating over what is optimal and what is not optimal, remember, they are probably a few miles further down the road than you are. You will get there, but right now your job isn't to drive perfectly. It is just to get moving. The way to start the carnivore diet is the same way you learn anything worth doing. Simple, a little messy, and better every time you do it. Once you actually start, the first few weeks are the real teacher. That's when your body starts switching over, from sugar to fat, from habit to instinct. You will probably feel tired, maybe foggy, maybe even a little lost. And that is completely normal. It is your body learning a new language. And somewhere in the middle of that, something changes. You wake up one day and realize you're not thinking about food anymore. You eat, feel full, and move on. No tracking, no cravings, no mental noise, just steady energy. And that's when it clicks. This diet isn't about restriction. It's about quiet. Because when food stops being the main event in your life, everything else gets better. Your focus, your sleep, your patience, your mornings. It's not a switch you flip overnight. It's a gradual return to normal. And that's the whole point. You don't feel like you're doing something extreme. You just feel like yourself again. By the time it all starts to make sense, you realize the hardest part wasn't cutting out foods. It was cutting out the noise. Everyone wants to perfect this, to get the ratios right, the timing right, the optimal plan right. But the truth is, you only earn those details once you have built consistency. For the first few months, I just rolled with it. No plan, no rules, just meat, eggs, salt, water. Then, when I felt ready, I started experimenting. Different ratios, different eating windows. Some days I eat twice, some days I eat once, and some days I don't eat at all. Now, if somebody told me to eat butter for an entire day, I would probably do it as a challenge. But if you said that to me when I just started out, I would think that both that and you are insane, and I would probably have never started. And that's the whole point I'm trying to make today. The longer you stay consistent, the easier it gets to explore. You stop fearing all the rules and start understanding how your body actually works. So don't try to master it from day one. Start simple. Eat real food. Let time teach you the rest. The fine tuning can wait, but the consistency cannot.